The American frontier promised land and freedom, but its winters were a fierce adversary. The vast, untamed wilderness was beautiful, yet unforgiving, especially when the temperature dropped and snow blanketed the land for months at a time. For pioneer families, survival meant outsmarting the cold with only what nature provided. Their log cabins, quickly built and full of gaps, were both shelter and battleground. Every log, every chink of mud or moss, was a line of defense against the relentless chill that seeped in from outside. Heat, always eager to escape, slipped through every crack, making each day a fight for warmth. Every choice, from window placement to wall repairs, was a calculated move in this struggle. Even the smallest oversight could mean a night spent shivering, or worse. Failure brought more than discomfort. It threatened lives and dreams. The cold could steal away hope as quickly as it could claim a harvest or a life, making resilience essential. Settlers learned to read the land, how the sun moved, how wind cut through trees, and how earth could store warmth. They observed the patterns of nature, adapting their routines and shelters to the rhythms of the seasons. Without modern science, they relied on instinct, trial and error, and wisdom passed down. Their solutions were born of necessity, shaped by the harsh hand of nature. Each generation added its own lessons, building on the hard-won knowledge of those who came before. They transformed drafty shelters into sanctuaries, working with the elements, not just against them. Deep snow became insulation, and a well-placed stone could radiate heat long after the fire died. Ingenuity turned hardship into opportunity, and every adaptation was a step toward survival. This deep understanding of their environment was their greatest tool. Against the frozen world, they carved out pockets of warmth and life, creating homes where none had existed before. The story of their survival is a testament to human ingenuity, a reminder that even in the harshest conditions, determination and creativity can turn adversity into triumph. To stay warm, pioneers first had to understand how their cabins lost heat. The struggle against the cold began with careful observation. Where did the warmth go, and how could it be kept inside? Log walls full of gaps and uneven seams let winter winds steal warmth with every gust. Even the smallest crack could become a highway for icy drafts. The fireplace, while central, sent much of its heat up the chimney and pulled cold air in through every crack. Instead of cozy comfort, the fire often created a constant tug-of-war between warmth and chill. Floors, laid over bare ground, radiated cold upward, making every step a reminder of the chill below. The earth itself seemed to reach up and sap away precious heat, especially at night. Windows, often just greased paper or animal skins, let in light but little warmth. These makeshift panes rattled in the wind, offering little protection from the biting cold outside. Every surface, walls, floors, windows, was a battleground where warmth met the relentless cold. The fight to keep heat inside was never-ending, and every weak spot was a potential defeat. The logs themselves offered little insulation, and the exposed foundation let cold creep in from below. The very structure of the cabin seemed to conspire with winter, making survival a daily challenge. Staying warm wasn't just about building a big fire, it was about trapping every degree of heat. Pioneers learned to use whatever materials they could find, moss, clay, even scraps of fabric, to plug every gap. Pioneers had to turn their leaky cabins into fortresses against the siege of winter. Each improvement, no matter how small, was a victory in the ongoing war against the elements. Every improvement, no matter how small, made a difference. The tiniest patch or repair could mean the difference between comfort and misery on a freezing night. Survival depended on relentless effort and clever adaptation. Through ingenuity and determination, pioneers slowly transformed their cabins from drafty shelters into true homes, capable of withstanding even the harshest winters. Long before the term passive solar design entered our vocabulary, early settlers were already putting its principles into practice, not as a luxury, but as a matter of survival and necessity. They carefully built their cabins with the longest wall and the largest windows facing south, intentionally harnessing the low winter sun to their advantage. Sunlight streaming through these south-facing windows would warm the air, floors and thick log walls, providing free, reliable heat from nature itself, even on the coldest days. This smart design reduced the need for firewood, which was a precious and often scarce resource during harsh winters, saving both time and energy. North walls, constantly battered by icy winds, were built with few or no windows at all, a deliberate choice to minimize heat loss and keep the warmth inside. None of this was accidental. It was the result of careful observation, learning from the land, and adapting to the environment over time. By aligning their homes with the sun's path across the sky, pioneers made their shelters not only more comfortable, but also far more efficient and sustainable. In doing so, their homes became part of the landscape's natural rhythms, turning simple sunlight into a vital tool for survival and comfort season after season. A cabin's warmth depended on sealing the gaps between logs, a process called chinking. Chinking was constant work, as logs shifted with the seasons. Settlers mixed mud or clay with straw or animal hair, packing it into every crack. Stones or wood filled larger gaps before the sticky mixture was applied. A single missed spot could let in a chilling draft, so thoroughness was key. The transformation was immediate, wind silenced, warmth held inside. Chinking turned a drafty frame into a true home. This simple, earthbound technology was the most crucial adaptation for winter survival. It was the difference between enduring and thriving. The earth could be both enemy and ally in the fight against cold. Pioneers banked soil or sod against cabin foundations, creating a barrier that blocked wind and trapped warmth. Some dug cabins into hillsides, using the earth's stable temperature as insulation. Stone fireplaces acted as thermal batteries, absorbing heat by day and releasing it at night. Central fireplaces warmed the cabin from all sides, while hearthstones created cozy gathering spots. By manipulating earth and stone, settlers captured and stored heat, making their homes more livable. They mastered the thermal properties of their environment without modern science. For pioneers, snow wasn't just an obstacle, it was insulation. Letting snow pile against the cabin's base created a natural air-filled barrier that slowed heat loss. The snowbank kept the ground and lower logs warmer than the frigid air outside. This simple adaptation reduced drafts and made the cabin easier to heat. Pioneers saw opportunity in the elements, turning winter's burden into a protective blanket. By embracing snow, they created a more stable, comfortable microclimate around their homes. Sometimes the best solution was letting nature do the work. Architecture was only half the battle. Daily habits made the difference. Families clustered near the hearth, planned activities around the fire, and slept together in the warmest spots, often the loft. Beds were curtained to trap body heat, and heated stones served as primitive hot water bottles. Layered wool clothing was worn day and night, with nightcaps to prevent heat loss. Every action, from closing doors quickly to sharing warmth, was part of a survival strategy. Life slowed, routines adapted, and social bonds deepened in the shared quest for warmth. These habits were as vital as any structural fix. Survival was a team effort, choreographed by necessity. Pioneers didn't use scientific jargon, but their solutions were rooted in observation and experimentation. They learned by feeling drafts, watching frost, and noticing how heat moved through stone and snow. Every improvement was tested by experience. If it worked, it stayed. Their cabins were laboratories, and winter was the test. This practical wisdom, refined by trial and error, was the frontier's true science. Innovation was constant, driven by the need for comfort and survival. The harsh environment demanded and rewarded ingenuity. The frontier cabin is a monument to human resilience and ingenuity. Pioneers achieved what we now call energy efficiency with mud, stone, and a deep understanding of nature. Their homes were dynamic systems interacting with sun, wind, and earth. Today's sustainable building principles echo their hard-won lessons. The simplest solutions, rooted in observation and adaptation, proved most effective. Their story is a powerful inheritance, reminding us that survival and comfort come from working with, not against, the world around us. The legacy of the frontier cabin continues to inspire and instruct.